Hello YouTube, and welcome back to W140 Restorations. I'm very excited. We have our next project car for the station. She's not a W140, she's an R129. Welcome to Project Heidi, my 1996 SL500. All right, everybody, let's do a quick walk around of Heidi. Heidi is a 1996 R129 SL500, which means she has the 5-liter M119 V8, just like Iona and just like Betty. The only thing I've done to her is tag her with the W140 Restorations sticker, but she has been untouched. As how I got her. There's a dent in the rear deck lid, a little bit of dirt in the lights. I can't really tell, but I think she might have been repainted in a previous past. Black top factory, black on black on the bottom, and the interior is pretty clean. There's some issues with the front though. This happened in a Walmart parking lot. I talked to the guy that I got her from as she was hit, but if you've seen the work that I've done on Iona, you know that we can handle this sort of thing and buy replacement factory turn signals. She's got, looks like xenon headlights or reflector headlights. I really don't know. I'll have to take a look at that. That one needs to be restored. That one's broken, and I don't know what's going on with these screws in the front bumper. I need to take a look at that. One of the reasons that I bought her was a documentation. I have stamped service books through about 150,000 miles. She has 171,000 on the odometer. The last service books were stamped 2013 for the last 10 years. She's had roughly 21,000 miles on her. The guy I bought her from said he drove her about 35 miles a week, and the math works out. About 40 miles a week for 52 weeks a year for 10 years is the last 30,000 miles that he put on this car. So I do want to thank Louis for posting this car and selling it to me. Drove down to close to Boca Raton to buy her, and let's go ahead and pop the hood and show you what we're working with on Project Heidi. So if you're new to these, the Mercedes symbol on the very bottom, there's a little plastic tab that you pull out. See that? And that lifts the hood. And there she is. She's pretty dirty, not gonna lie. Has been setting for quite some time. Louis said that at the, and older gentleman by the way, at the end he wasn't driving it very much at all. So I'll do a lot of detail work on it. You see a bunch of leaves and schmutz from setting in it, and missing some of the trim pieces there by the cowl. I'll try to find those. Brake fluid. I pulled the oil when I did the first drive, and the oil seems pretty clean. Looks like it was pretty well taken care of over the years, but just for the last few, really just been setting. So got to get into it, detail it. It has not a hard start like Iona, but a harder start. So need to check all the fuel, make sure, change the fuel filter, make sure she's getting enough pressure on the fuel rail. Fuel lines look okay. They're these braided steel ones, and get underneath it and see what we need to do to get her back in working order. Gotta wash it, gotta clay bar the paint, gotta buff it. Missing the jack cover for the jack. And it's got Continental Tech tires sitting on it. I think those are 18-inch, maybe 20. I don't know. I know they're not factory. All the pieces and parts are in it. Little accident from a parking lot. See if I can do some dentless paint repair to pull this out, and then buy a rear third brake light and get the top off. I do have the dreaded red light. I don't have the dash light flashing for the Okay, door cards, speaker is a little bit dirty. Door cards need some love. They not too bad. They like I said, need to be cleaned out. Carpet cleaned as well. Non-smoker, believe it or not, no smoking smells at all. Passenger seat, pretty good order, not split or cracked. Needs some love. On the bolsters here, you can see that the driver's seat has a little bit of crack. Rear deck with the Bose speakers. It's in pretty good condition. Like I said during the quick walk around, I have done nothing to this car. I literally put it on a trailer and brought it home. 3 owners. Last one had it for a long time. Service stamp books, one of the reasons that I bought it, and I'll show you that here in a second, are the service books. And here's the documentation that I can show you. The original salesman, a guy named Frank Chandler in West Palm, and I picked the car up in Boca, so she didn't go very far in her 20+ years on the planet. Operations guide, the quick tip, a small flip book with all the cool stuff to find in your SL, and the warranty. Stamped service books from the beginning all the way through to 150,000 miles. And signed and stamped by the West Palm Beach Mercedes dealership back in the day, starting when the car was sold around 96, 97, all the way through. So I was, it's one of the things I look for in buying these cars is the service manuals. I have been to Orlando, passed on a W140. Same thing with Ocala and Jacksonville and Miami. I've passed on 4 W140s because they had incorrect mileage. Didn't have a clean title, didn't tell me about exactly what the conditions of the car were. But when I got down to West Palm, Boca area, and I saw this one and talked to the gentleman I bought it from, it was a yes. After talking to him about how long he's owned it, what he's done to it, what he hasn't done to it, and how long it had been sitting, it seemed like the next perfect project for W140 restoration. So here she is, and looking forward to getting into it and working on it. The trunk is as I found it, with the factory first aid kit and the trunk trim pieces that were with it. I don't know why they're off. They seem like they're seen better days. We can get those cleaned up. These are not Mercedes floor mats, and I guess this came out of the front bumper. It looks like one of the interior bumper pieces if you saw the Project Iona bumper videos. So the rear panel is in there. So we're gonna start getting all picked up and taken apart and cleaned up, and see what we can do with it. I know the SL world knows these cars much better than I do, and the aficionados. The difference between the first gen R129s and the second gen R129 are the number of louvers. I think the first gen had 3 louvers, the second gen had 2 louvers, and the third gen had 2 louvers, but they went from the M119 V8 to the M113 V8. And if I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments. And I'm learning more about these cars as I go through. As I mentioned, these are aftermarket Continentals on aftermarket wheels, and definitely not factory. And you can see as I find out more and more about this car that the fender well has been lipped out, so we're gonna have to work on this to get that back under control as well. This jack stand cover is missing as well. I get some, I don't know what that is. Different colorations on the paint. And obviously the red light's on, so the top doesn't work. So they'll have to be sorted out. These are full of green stuff and cracked as well, so looks like new taillights. Or have to be restored, one of the two. And definitely it's missing all of the markings for its model and its displacement, so I'm guessing that the car has been repainted. Let's see, there might be a dead giveaway here. Yeah, there's a tape line, so she has been repainted. So let's we'll see how the new paint looks. You can see that there's this tape mark line right here, so they obviously taped it up before they painted it. So we'll see how she do. No rust. I was very happy about that. I pulled this up when I was looking at it and doing the test drive. There's no rust anywhere on the car except for the little bit on the trunk lid. And when I asked what happened, the guy was like, whatever. That's exactly how he said it. So that'll have to be figured out as well. Again, these are cracked and have not been underneath it. Like I said, I haven't done anything to it. She presents pretty well. Despite the antenna being broken off, the radio still works. AC's ice cold too. So I think she presents pretty well. Next up is getting on the quick jacks, taking a look at the fluids, getting those changed. She's got a valve tick. It sounds like it's coming from the driver's side bank on the V8. I don't know if it's a stuck valve. I don't know if it's an oiler, but I'm going to do a liquid moly engine flush, and hopefully that'll release some of the goo that's in the engine. Might free up that a little bit. So, but there she sits, Project Heidi from W140 Restorations. All right, see if she makes that valve ticking noise in the first startup. All right, lights off. Airbag light. Yeah, fuel, she needs gas. If y'all can hear, there's a valve tick noise. When I pop the hood, it sounds like it is coming from the driver's side. Red light on for the top, red light's on for the roll bar. Everything else works, including the AC. So comes out nice and cold, which I am grateful for here in Florida summer. There it comes on, nice and cold. So we'll that and do this, and let's get her back to the garage. Okay, I just wanted to point out something. Just because it's clean doesn't mean it's clean. Look at all that, all the leaves that were stuck right here by the hinges and that drain. Right there was clogged. I gotta get the rest of those bad boys out from down there. On a W140, it's a coffin box. I don't know if there's a special name for it on an R29 or not. But next up is the driver's side, and get all these leaves up out of here and get the drain cleaned out. I'm probably gonna find looks like more leaves over here. Oof, they're everywhere. Yep, she's been sitting for a while. All right, and back to the driver's side. Get everything out down there. I don't see any bits of leaves left over, but the big thing is this is all cleaned out. No dirt, leaves, bugs, etc. But you can see just how much schmutz was living down in there. All right, let's get in the garage and take a look and see what we got. Okay, off camera, I took off the corner marker lights. They're very easy to take out. They just slide out. But to get them to release, you basically pinch these connectors and they slide out back in the recess. The reason I did that, I'm looking for any rust on the body itself, and seeing none. I'm very happy with that. I'll take the headlights out in a bit and eventually take the front bumper off. But I took both of the front corner marker lights. This one's just trash. It's broken, but same principle for squeezing to release inside the housing. And on this one, no rust as well. Even the bulb there. As we go to the back of the car, there's no rust inside the tank area, which is good. I made sure to clean out the drain, make sure we didn't have any rust growing in there. And I took out the rear taillights as well to make sure there was no rust in any of the area of the taillight. A little bit different taking the R129 taillights out. It's really, I took them off camera, really easy squeeze and open the inside housing. And you see there are 7 of these 8mm little nuts that hold it together, in the inside and the outside squeeze with this gasket to hold it in place. It doesn't bolt to the car, they bolt to themselves. And coming around here on the driver's side as well, no rusts. So I'm gonna start clay barring as much as I can to get the impurities out of the paint and see what she looks like after a quick cut with some cutting compound, and maybe a little bit of polish if I get to it. I just want to see what the paint's going to look like when I'm done with it. So let's go ahead and start working on that. Alright, if y'all are new to the channel, you know that I label everything that I have in the garage to make sure that the next person to come by and pick up knows what's in there. So just some light car wash and water, very light mix. I'm going to use this kind of as a slurry for my clay bar. I like 3M products. This is a 3M Perfected cleaner clay. It's a purple clay. 38070 is the 3M product number, and we're going to go ahead and start spraying the car down with the soap and water and using the clay bar to pull all the imperfections out. There is tons of crap in this paint. I don't think it's been the car looks like it hadn't been washed in a long time, but I don't think it's been, what, 3-5 years since it's been polished. So we're gonna try to use these products that we have on other cars on W140 restoration, and see how much of these impurities we can pull out, and then try to cut it down with some cutting compound. Oh my gosh, it looks so fantastic. That's just polishing clay bar. I cannot imagine to see what it's like when it's waxed or ceramic coated. Let me see the difference between the two. Oh, she's gonna be beautiful. Can't wait to get all of her done. Alright, this is the last part of the paint. I haven't done anything to, so we'll make it shiny here in a second and turn that frown around. I just wanted to show you all just how shiny she's turned out. I'm very, very excited. You gotta deal with some paintless dent repair here on the trunk lid, but man, she's turning out really, really nice. And just have one last little panel to do, and I'll show you the whole car. All right, everybody, a little before and after, and this is after one cutting with a buffing pad and some polish. It's a heavy cut, but that paint, oh my gosh, that paint looks so nice. She looks stunning. I cannot wait to see what she looks like when I use a medium cut and a fine cut and then put some wax on it. If anybody has a good ceramic coating, I haven't used any before, let me know. Leave the title and name, whatever product you recommend down in the comments section. I'm looking for a good ceramic coating to put on Project Heidi. But yeah, she's gonna look stunning when she's done. All right, let's get Heidi up in the air. I am not sponsored in any way, shape, or form by QuickJack, but if you were looking for a set of jacks for your home, I got these 7,000 TLs for W140s, and they will hold up to 7,000 pounds. The R129 weighs 3,000 plus dry, and these things are literally quick. They are fantastic. That's it. Put it back down and locked into place. And I'll use some 6-ton jack stands to make sure I'm safe, but these things are fantastic. Super quick to go up and super fast to go down, and I would highly recommend. All right, let's do some first impressions underneath Heidi. Front shocks, they're shot. That has to be done. There's bracing on the rear of a 129 and bracing on the front of a 129 because it's convertible. The bodies flex a lot, so here, driver's and passenger side. There's a plate. There's an aluminum plate on the early 129s that goes right through here. I'll have to look and see if there's one in a late model. If there is, this one's missing. I thought it covered all the front of the car, but we'll have to see. Oil pan, not too terribly bad. A little bit of leaks on the back. The oil pan, let's see. Sway bar, not too bad. Oil pressure sensor. Well, gotta change all the fluids. Gotta do a flush and change all the fluids on this M119. Transmission. That's interesting. I don't know what to make of that. It's got 171,000 miles on it, so I gotta change the transmission filter. Not too much rust, just surface rust. Oh yeah, front's looking pretty good. Steering. Let's look at this. Could be better. There's the leak right there showing up. Links are in pretty good order. They feel complete. All right. Maybe some suspension. Original Bosch alternator. All right, let's go look at the rear differential. Okay, there we go. Culprit. When you put it in drive and give it some gas, it goes thump. And I think part of the thump we're gonna find here on the rear differential, the flex disc and the shaft. Lots of clunky noises. Yeah, there's probably no fluid in this thing. Great. The rear pumpkin on an R129 is jammed up underneath a bunch of stuff, including the exhaust, because it runs mid-level, the shroud for the drive shaft, the flex disc, a bunch of stiffening rear suspension stuff. Great. That's gonna be fun. Yep, that's gonna be an issue to deal with. Okay, now topside, take a look at this V8 M119 5-liter Mercedes V8. First things we're gonna do for Heidi are change the fluids. I'm gonna use an engine flush like I did on Project Iona. Flush this M119 V8. Put some new Pentosan, liquid moly 5W40 back in it. Change the radiator fluids, make sure I've got fresh orange correct antifreeze in it. Same thing for the power steering fluid, and flush all the brake fluid for Project Heidi. I have not cracked open the air filters, replaced the air filters as well, cabin filters, see what she looks like. And general maintenance items, that'll probably be episode 2 for Project Heidi. Transmission, 171,000 miles on this transmission. Need to get and replace the filter and all the transmission fluid, and then start really tearing into what the problem is for the drive shaft and the rear differential. Need to order some fluids to replace that. Corner lights, these are broken, both of them. This little piece that holds the marker light, buy another one of these. I couldn't find one used anywhere, but they are available new, so get these, get them painted up. Get a hood cover, they're available, so get those and the clips and do that. Next thing we need to start working on is getting this rear antenna fixed. I don't want any fluids pouring in like rain and stuff and bugs and leaves getting to Heidi, so we need to get one of those, replace the antenna, work on the lights. The lights are complete, they are sitting in the trunk. I need to get them all cleaned up and put them back in with new bulbs, and find someone that can do paintless dent repair, and then do a little bit of touch-up paint to pull this back out from where it was backed into a pole or something from the second owner, and get a third brake light, and then get the rear and put all back together. Not too bad. I'm pretty pleased with what she is for how much I paid for her, but looking to really dig into it and start working on the engine, and hopefully won't have to pull and do the engine oilers. If I do, that'll be probably the episode 3, episode 4 as we really start digging into Heidi. So I hope you all enjoy the first walk around video for Project Heidi. I'm very, very excited to get into it. This car is going to be a project and a gift for my wife, and get into working on the convertible top, getting the top off, and really getting some miles on her in the beautiful sunshine here in Florida. So everyone, thanks for watching this first Project Heidi video. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching W140 Restorations, everybody. See you in the next video.